Somebody's not making it out of episode 6 alive, and the streets already know it. Tensions are building, trust is crumbling, and Meech is about to make a move that could either take him to the top or bury him for good. After that wild episode 5, you can feel it. Something major is coming. If you've been watching closely, the clues are all there. Let's break down what episode 5 really told us and why it changes everything. Episode 5 was more than just another chapter. It was a warning, a calm before the storm. It started off with Meech trying to play it smart. He's no longer just moving weight, he's playing chess with people's lives. From his meeting with new players on the West Coast to dealing with problems back home in Detroit, it's clear that Meech is spreading himself thin. And when you spread too wide, you leave openings for enemies. One of the biggest moments was how Terry reacted to Meech's decisions. You could see the tension in every scene. Between the brothers, Terry doesn't fully trust Meech's direction anymore. He's questioning the risk, the expansion, and whether this is still about family or just about power. That look he gave Meech in the car after the warehouse meeting, that wasn't brotherly support, that was doubt. And doubt in this game can turn deadly real quick. Then we have Detective Bryant, and he's getting desperate. The walls are closing in on him, both from the force and the streets. The loss of control is obvious. His informant is shaky, his badge is under review, and he knows if he doesn't bring down Meech soon, he's done. The scene where he stared at that file in silence said everything. He's thinking of doing something reckless, maybe something illegal, maybe even personal, that makes him dangerous. On the other side, we saw hints that someone close to Meech may be flipping. There was that quick conversation with B-Mickie. Remember that moment when he got quiet while on the phone? That wasn't just filler. He's hiding something. It might not be a full betrayal yet, but the seeds are planted. B-Mickie is loyal, but only to a point. And pressure from law enforcement or threats to his own life might finally push him over the edge. What stood out the most though was the mood, dark, heavy, and full of quiet tension. There were no huge shootouts or dramatic endings this time, but that's what made it so powerful. It felt like a fuse was lit and everyone's just pretending not to see the fire creeping up. That's classic BMF storytelling. Let things simmer until the audience is leaning forward, heart pounding, waiting for the hit. Another detail you might have missed. The music. The showrunners used slower, more emotional tracks in key scenes. That's not random. It's to make you feel lost before it happens. It's to set up heartbreak. Someone we care about is going down soon, and they want us to be ready for it. So when you put all that together, the growing distance between Meech and Terry, Brian hitting his breaking point, and people in the crew acting shady, it's not just background noise, it's the setup for something major. Episode 6 isn't going to hold back. It's going to strike hard, and someone's story is ending. The question now isn't if something bad happens. It's who pulls the trigger and who it hits. Meech has always been a step ahead. He moves with confidence. He speaks like he's already won, and he doesn't flinch under pressure. But right now, he's not in control. Not fully. He's got enemies on all sides, cops, rivals, and even people within his own team who are questioning him. That's a dangerous place for a leader. In episode 5, Meech made decisions that Terry didn't agree with. He kept expanding, even though the risk is getting bigger. And the truth is, Meech isn't just chasing money anymore. He's chasing legacy, power, a name, and that ambition might be his weakness. We've seen it before. Bosses who rise too fast often fall hard. He might think he's untouchable, but episode 6 could humble him badly. There's also a strong chance that Meech might go too far. Maybe he orders a hit that backfires. Maybe he pushes too hard and loses someone close. Or maybe, just maybe, the law catches up. The feds are watching. The streets are whispering. and not everyone is loyal. Meech could face betrayal from someone he never expected. It might not kill him, but it'll shake him to the core. Prediction. Meech will make a bold move in episode 6, but it won't go as planned. The fallout could cost him more than he expects, maybe even the trust of his own crew. Terry's had enough. You can see it in every scene now. The calm, careful brother is starting to crack. He's tired of playing second to Meech, tired of being dragged into danger, tired of watching everything he built, his girl, his family, his future, get burned for the sake of the game. And that pressure? It's building. If you go back and watch episode 5 again, there's a moment when Terry just stares at Meech while he's talking about expansion. No nod, no smile, just silence. That's not loyalty, that's calculation. Terry's starting to think for himself. And that means he might break ranks. There's also the personal side. Terry still wants a normal life. He wants to be with his son, fix things with his girl, and run a clean business. He's seeing that dream slip away, and who's to blame? In his eyes, it's Meech. Prediction. Episode 6 could be the episode where Terry finally says enough. He might not betray Meech outright, but he could walk away, or worse, make a move that splits the family for good. Don't be surprised if Terry starts building his own thing, separate from BMF. Detective Bryant is cooked. His badge means nothing now. The department doesn't trust him. His bosses are watching him, and he's stuck in a game he can't win. But here's the real danger. Bryant doesn't care anymore. And when a man with nothing to lose is chasing you, that's when things get deadly. In episode 5, he looked broken, not just frustrated, lost. Like he's ready to throw away the badge and take matters into his own hands. That's scary, because Bryant still knows things. He's been close to Meech and BMF for years. He's seen the ins and outs. He might have dirt we haven't even heard about yet. And if he can't bring Meech down legally, he might do it another way. A quiet tip-off, a backroom deal, a trap, or even a setup involving someone inside the crew. Prediction. Brian is going to do something reckless in episode 6. It could get someone killed. It could blow a case wide open. But one thing is clear. He's done playing by the rules. B-Mickie is quiet, but that's what makes him dangerous. He's the kind of guy who bottles everything up until he explodes. And right now, he's under pressure from all sides. Law enforcement has him cornered. The crew doesn't fully trust him. And he's trying to hold it all together without slipping. But here's the problem. Loyalty has a limit. B-Mickie has sacrificed a lot. And in return, he's constantly treated like a side piece. He wants respect. He wants to matter. And if he doesn't feel that soon, he might start thinking about his own survival over the crew. Prediction. If anyone's going to flip, it's B-Mickie. He's the weak link right now. Episode 6 could be the moment he either goes full ride or die, or decides to save himself and start talking. This is where everything starts to twist. If you've been paying attention to BMF's rhythm, you know by now, episode 6 in any season is never just filler. It's the fuse before the explosion, and with the way episode 5 ended, quiet, tense, and full of unsaid things, the real story is about to flip. So let's get into what could be coming. Meech might be the face of BMF, but that doesn't mean he's the one in control anymore. There's too much happening at once. New crews on the West Coast, heat from law enforcement, and cracks showing. In his own house, one wrong move, and everything collapses. In past episodes, Meech always had a grip on things, but now he's reacting more than planning. He's playing defense, trying to fix problems instead of leading with vision. That's dangerous for someone who built an empire. And it means other people, maybe people we've overlooked, could step in. Think about how focused the camera has been lately on side characters. The show doesn't waste screen time. If they're giving someone more lines, more angles, more space, it's probably because they're about to step up or betray someone. That shift in energy means the throne Meech build is starting to wobble. Someone's going to try to take it. Asterisk prediction. Episode 6 could reveal a power move from within BMF, a surprise betrayal, a new leader rising, or a key ally switching sides. And if Meech doesn't see it coming, he might be too late to stop it. Asterisk, let's just say it. Someone is going to switch sides. It always happens at the breaking point of the season. Trust becomes a weapon, and loyalty becomes a lie. And right now, the writing is on the wall. Asterisk, B-Mickie is the obvious suspect. He's been under pressure from the police, he's been pushed around by Meech, and he's tired. He might finally say screw it and start talking. But what if it's not him? What if the show is baiting us into watching B-Mickie while someone else is moving in silence? Asterisk, it could be a secondary crew member, someone we think is harmless. It could even be someone in Terry's corner trying to pull him away from his brother. And if that person flips, the fallout could destroy the whole structure of BMF from the inside. Asterisk prediction. The betrayal won't be loud. It'll be quiet, a single phone call, a wrong look, a piece of info that ends up in the wrong hands. And it'll hit like a bullet we didn't see coming. Asterisk. Let's be honest, this is BMF. People don't get happy endings here, especially when business is booming. And the way things are going, it feels like episode 6 might bring a body drop. A big one. Asterisk, there's too much tension, too much risk, too many guns on the table. We've reached that point in the season where silence means something's about to break. The pacing of episode 5, slow, dark, heavy, felt like it was preparing us. The music, the close-ups, the long pauses in conversation, it's all leading to loss. Asterisk, so who's it gonna be? Asterisk, it could be a beloved secondary character, someone close to the brothers, maybe K9, maybe a family member. Or, and this is a bold one, it could be someone like B-Mickie, caught in the crossfire of two worlds. His death would change everything. For Meech, for Terry, for the story, it would be personal. And personal deaths always push the plot forward. Asterisk prediction. Episode 6 will feature a major death. Not a nameless extra, someone important. And it'll send shockwaves through both the crew and the streets. Asterisk, episode 6 doesn't just end a storyline. It usually starts the chaos that carries the season into its final stretch. That means we're due for a moment that flips the board, reveal a trap, or a betrayal that changes every plan moving forward. Asterisk, we could see the feds finally get a wiretap that works. We could see a police raid end in a standoff, or maybe Terry and Meech have a real fallout, like actual separation, different directions, different crews, different goals. That would make the final episodes of season 4 way more explosive. A civil war inside BMF, that's TV gold. Asterisk, there's also a chance the cliffhanger is emotional, like a family member being taken, or a shocking decision that makes Meech look like the villain. This show doesn't shy away from making us question the main characters. That might be the root here. Asterisk prediction. Episode 6 will end on a massive twist. One that sets the tone for a dark, fast-moving finale. It won't be loud, it'll be cold, calculated, and it'll leave fans yelling at the screen. Asterisk, this one's been gaining traction. Some fans believe B-Mickie never stopped working with the cops and that every moment he's been loyal to Meech lately has been fake. The theory goes like this. Detective Bryant has been feeding him just enough rope to play both sides, and B-Mickie is stringing everyone along, waiting for the perfect time to hand Meech over. Asterisk, why people believe it. That scene in episode 5 where B-Mickie hesitates before speaking on the phone. It wasn't just nerves. It looked like guilt, plus he's been quiet lately. No emotional blow-ups, no personal storylines, just lurking. And when a character goes that silent in BMF, something's brewing. Asterisk, but here's the flip side. Some fans think he's just stuck, that he's scared more than shady. And if he flips, it'll be out of fear, not because he's playing both sides. Asterisk commentary. This theory is because it makes B-Mickie's quiet moments way more intense. Whether it's true or not, it keeps him as the wild card. And in episode 6, wild cards usually draw blood. Asterisk another big theory. Terry might already be moving differently behind Meech's back. Some fans point to his scenes in the last 2 episodes, the solo meetings, the silent frustration, the way he distances himself from big decisions. They think he's setting up his own supply line or crew, something cleaner, something that doesn't involve Meech's mess. Asterisk a few even believe he's working with another rival crew, maybe even the Colombians, just to build a backup plan. Wild, right, but not impossible. Asterisk, let's be real. Terry's always been the more cautious one. He's about money and family, not power. And if he thinks Meech is dragging them down, he might make a play that looks like betrayal. But in his mind, it's protection. Asterisk commentary. I think there's truth in this. Maybe not a full-blown betrayal yet, but Terry's energy has changed. He's not following, he's watching, calculating. That alone makes him a threat to the unity of BMF. Asterisk, this one is gaining steam, and honestly, it sounds exactly like something BMF would pull. Asterisk, here's the idea. Bryant knows he can't win in court. He's out of time, out of leverage, and almost out of a job. So he decides to take it into his own hands and plant something, maybe drugs, maybe guns, maybe fake wiretaps, just to take Meech down before his entire career burns out. Asterisk is a dirty move, but he's desperate. And this theory fits his vibe lately. He's tired, he's sloppy, and he's ready to go rogue. In episode 5, he was seconds away from losing it, and episode 6 might be where he fully breaks. Asterisk commentary. This is a dangerous theory, because if it happens, Meech goes down without making a mistake. That would change the tone of the whole show, from street chess to straight-up sabotage. It would be cold, but totally on brand for this series. Asterisk, this is one of the darker ones. Some fans believe that the show has been focusing more on family lately, especially their mom, to build emotional weight. She's been trying to keep her sons from falling deeper into the game, and in doing so, she's putting herself in dangerous positions. Asterisk the theory. Episode 6 might include a shooting or a botched hit, and she could be caught in the middle. If that happens, it would crush both brothers, and possibly cause the major split everyone's been predicting. Asterisk, it's a painful idea, but shows like BMF don't always protect the good-hearted characters. Sometimes, they're the ones who pay the price to push the story forward. Asterisk commentary. This would be devastating, but it would also be the kind of emotional explosion that shakes Meech and Terry to their core. A tragedy like that could lead to full-blown war, revenge, or even total collapse. Asterisk, what makes these fan theories so powerful is that they're all possible. That's the beauty of a show like BMF. It doesn't give you easy answers. It builds characters with layers, motives, secrets. And episode 6 feels like the point where all those secrets start spilling out. Asterisk, so whether you're team Meech, team Terry, or just watching for the drama, you're in for a heavy episode. These theories, they're not just wild guesses. They're warning shots. Episode 6 is about to deliver something big. We just don't know who it's aimed at yet. Asterisk, let's be real, episode 6 isn't just another chapter in season 4. It's the one that changes everything. Asterisk, we've got Meech possibly losing control, Terry reaching a breaking point, B-Mickie playing both sides, and Detective Bryant turning from cop to criminal. The betrayals are creeping in, the trust is fading fast, and the streets are louder than ever. Asterisk, we've broken down the characters, we've walked through the major story plays, and the fan theories. Some of y'all might be more tapped in than the writers themselves. Asterisk, so now the big question is, who's not gonna make it out of episode 6? Asterisk, will it be someone close to the crew? Asterisk, will the feds finally make their move? Asterisk, or will Meech and Terry go to war with each other? Asterisk, one thing is clear. This episode is the pivot point. The calm before the storm is over. Now we're in the middle of the fire. And if this season follows the same energy as past ones, episode 6 is where the body count rises and the empire starts to shake. Asterisk.